Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is on and popping as it's the week heading into the Super Bowl. We are excited. We got a whole realm of guests coming in. We got Charly in the house. We got the Hatter with us. We about to kick it off, y'all. What's up? Let's go.
What's up, Charly? How you doing today, honey?
Hey guys, I'm doing good. I am getting excited. The Super Bowl is less than a week away, and I am just thrilled to see two really strong teams take the field in Santa Clara for Super Bowl number 50.
Yeah. Very excited about it. It's the 50. It's the milestone, and hey, we're going to get going. We're going to have all week long. We're going to be doing guests. We're going to be doing a whole package, and just very excited about Killer Cam versus the Denver Broncos and Peyton Manning. Big age discrepancy as far as the quarterbacks are concerned over there, Charly.
Yeah, biggest one that they've had in Super Bowl history. It's a little over 13 years, so it'll be very interesting to see how that affects the game, and obviously has a big role in the storyline as we've seen so far.
Absolutely. So, Charly, what do we got on deck today? What do we got popping this Monday morning?
All right, guys, it's a big week in the sports world, and there is no lack of news on this Monday. First of all, we're going to talk about the Phoenix Suns firing their head coach, Jeff Hornacek, last night. We're also going to get into Calvin Johnson. He is planning to retire. It is official, so he says. Also, Johnny Manziel, a possible assault on his ex-girlfriend. Of course, we are going to be breaking down the NCAA top 25 games from last night and yesterday, as well as the NBA recap from yesterday. We're also going to be discussing the Pro Bowl. And speaking of Pro Bowl, former Pro Bowler and former Kansas City Chief defensive tackle Bill Moss will be joining us at 9:30 to break down the big game coming up this Sunday and also talk about his days on the field as a Pro Bowler. So we've got a lot lined up for you.
Wow, Dream. A lot of stuff to go over, man. Definitely. So, what do you want to kick it right off with? Phoenix Suns?
Yeah, let's talk about that to begin with. That just happened last night. The general manager of their team, his name is Ryan McDonough. He informed Hornacek of that decision right when the Suns got back to Phoenix after they lost last night to the Dallas Mavs 91-78. This was something that the head coach might have seen coming, as it was the team's 14th straight on the road loss.
Ouch.
Was he at the TSA baggage check spot saying, hey, yo, hey.
Hey, he's like, yeah, actually, you know what? You're not actually even allowed on the plane. You got to take commercial.
Oh, man.
Was he like, hey, come here, let me talk to you for a minute, money?
We're thinking about going in another direction.
Grab your stuff. Grab your stuff. You riding with me. We gonna ride back to the
You know what, guys? That's the thing with the firings of head coach. A lot of times the head coach has no idea that it's coming, at least at that very moment. Maybe they see inklings of it lingering. There's some tension in the air, but you never know when this is going to happen. They didn't waste any time. They're like, all right, you know what? We just got beat for the 14th straight time on the road. We've now lost 19 of our past 21 games, and we have a 14-35 record. See you later, Jeff.
Unbelievable.
That's a good thing, because I know if it was me, I'd be doing I would call the craziest type of play. If I knew it was my last day coach.
Oh, yeah, right?
We would be trying the craziest type of plays. I'd be like, yo, go out there and do the Globetrotter weave.
That's awesome.
Oh, very good point. Very good point. I mean, they've been very bad, and we've been picking on them quite a bit. We've been talking about it here on the show, just kind of betting against them each and every time. And sure enough, the only one they want to win in the last 21, actually they won 2 games out of the last 21, was versus the Atlanta Hawks, where I personally went down in flames on that one. But, hey, you know what? I just got to pick my way back as far as that one's concerned. But, hey, they lost to the Dallas Mavs last night without Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah.
So, brutal loss.
The Phoenix Suns have been struggling, and I think it's time that they
and this will stop
about it. I think it's time.
And this will stop the struggle, though.
Yeah.
Because it was all his fault. It kills me, with some of these situations. And, I understand a good team not producing, so you need to shake it up maybe and make a statement.
Right.
But when you're
in the Cavs case, for example.
Right. Well, even though I struggle with what they did too, but I more struggle with who they picked as opposed to what they did. Right. But in this case, you're talking about a bad team, young guys, not a whole lot of talent. I didn't see the necessity to do it right now. Like, you may want to go in a different direction with coaching. You might as well wait the end of the season. What's this going to garner you? Maybe, okay, so you win 5 more games or maybe even lose 5 more. You know, I mean, the team's bad, and this isn't going to be that shot in the arm to make it work. So while I kind of get it, I don't really.
You know what? I think a lot of times when it comes to these decisions that are made, a lot of times they don't make sense, but it's almost like you always want to look for a scapegoat.
Sure.
And a lot of times, unfortunately, it does fall on the shoulders of the coach. And a lot of times, even though like you're thinking, and I think a lot of people think the same way you do, what difference is this going to make? It's still saying, okay, you know, we see the concerns, we hear the concerns. Now we're going to do something about it. Whether or not it's the right decision, who knows? But just to sit around and let this downward spiral continue without anything happening, I think sometimes is more concerning than doing nothing at all.
Absolutely.
Charly, you got the you finally got the SBT bug. It looks like I see you over there. You got mad energy this morning.
I do, guys. I've been up for so long. I'm like running on you right now.
Yeah, she got it. Nice. Feeling it today, Charly, aren't you?
I
wow.
am feeling it, guys.
I gotta start getting up at 4:30 in the morning. I think my juice is flowing like that.
I'm gonna start doing that every day. I already got my workout in this morning. I got my tea.
Oh, fantastic. All right, cool. What else we got going on in the world of sports?
Well, Calvin Johnson did officially come out and say he's going to retire. At least he told his coach that as the season ended just a couple weeks ago. He told his friends and family that he was planning on retire before the season even began. So,
wow.
Guys, I don't know. What do you think? You think it's time for him to hang up his cleats?
Jim, I'll let you kick that one off, and then I'll go over to me.
I don't think it's time. I think you're dealing with a frustrated athlete that is, you know, I don't know what he's going through. I don't know if it's personal issues. Has he cited a reason?
I think he just said it's time. He just reached that time, and he's just ready to call it a day. I mean, but it does seem a little bit strange because this was his 6th consecutive 1,000-yard season. So it's not like he's seeing a drop-off in performance necessarily, and as we've seen, he is the superstar on that team.
Sure.
You got a team that has not really, you know, ever had panned out. I don't know if this is a ploy. I shouldn't say ploy, but if this is a design to get out of the current contract so he can go somewhere else. We've seen athletes do this in the past. As a matter of fact, didn't Carson Palmer do this?
Not that I know of.
Okay. I know we've seen a couple athletes in the past do it to get out of their situations. I don't know if that's the case with him. I'm just not sold that it's over for him. I mean, still a ton of talent, obviously. Sure. Humongous target. And, you know, I still say he's got a minimum of what, like 4 years still?
Well, he is 30 years old, guys. And when you look at this, I mean, Dream, we look at the injury reports every week in and week out of the NFL. And when you look at it, he is always hampered with a leg, an ankle. He's on there every single week.
Sure.
And you know what? I mean, this guy's one of the most paid wide receivers in the game today. So, I mean, he has made a lot of money in his career so far. Maybe he's looking at, you know, in light of all the concussions and stuff like that, you know, maybe he wants to just kind of, you know, go out on the top of his game at 30 years old. So maybe that has something to do with it. And, you know, maybe he wants to go and invest that money and, you know, do his whole package there. So, hey, I wish him the best of luck. I mean,
you know what, though? I hate, please, okay, I'm good. All right, you want to retire? That's dope. Go ahead, do your thing. Do not drop the video a year from now about the love of the game and you miss it and you gotta get back.
I agree.
And you're in the greatest shape of your life now and you're ready to shock the world. I hate when they do that. You know what I mean? It's like called, all right, dude, you just had a bad day or they caught you at a bad time and you decided that's it and you kind of, you know, overreacted or whatever. But if you're gonna go, then just go and go away. Kind of like what Barry Sanders did, you know, and just don't come back. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel because I hate when they do that and they want to come back and then it's a mess. You know what I mean?
Like Brett Favre?
Not Brett, because Brett didn't ever really want to leave.
Yeah, got it.
You know, Brett was about that was temper tantruming. Okay, that was my kids do that. You know what I'm saying? My kids do that. So I know what Brett was doing. No, but like Tiki Barber. Remember Tiki Barber?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
tried to pull that.
I gotcha.
Well, unfortunately, if this is the end for him, he's leaving his NFL career with 0 playoff wins.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yikes.
It's got to hurt a little bit.
Yeah, just a touch. But, hey, he made a lot of money, so maybe that kind of eases the pain just a touch, Charlie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what? I don't think it hurts at all.
Yep, definitely not.
No, but when you have a lot of money and you're an athlete in the realm of where he is, it is my opinion that it is no longer about money anymore. It's more about success, your legacy.
Well, right, and that's something that money can't buy.
Right,
Exactly.
and
Something you're always going to say, no matter how much money I have, I still don't have the one thing that I wanted the most, which,
Very good
not even a
point.
playoff win. I mean, it's not like, it's a lot of athletes, I wish I would have won a Super Bowl. It's like, for him, it's like, I wish I would have won a playoff game.
Yeah, and they had some brutal losses in that stretch as well. So, hey, we'll keep it moving to the next thing. What else we got going on in the NFL?
All right, guys. You know what? I feel like we're a broken record over here. Johnny Manziel, once again, in trouble for a possible assault on his ex-girlfriend. Come on, guys. I mean, does this kid never learn his lesson? It doesn't seem like he does.
John. Back up off John.
You know what, though? You seem to be like, you of all people, of the three of us at least, seem to at least give him the benefit of the doubt, saying, the team should keep him out of the public eye. But here's the thing. Now this has nothing to do with the team, and he still cannot control himself.
No. I didn't say the team should keep him out of public. I said that I felt that the team was taking the role of the parent. And you can't take a role of a parent in a professional atmosphere. And I also felt like the team helped add to some of the press that he had. Instead of the team didn't take the general team stance. In most of these situations, you see the team on one side, the individual on the other side. The individual acts like a clown, and the team acts professionally. I felt like the team had kind of lowered itself to the same level as him in a lot of respects with the way they were dealing with him, and letting it be known to the press. That's just only my opinion. Listen, I don't the off-field behavior out of him. I don't condone it.
Right.
Do I think that he is possibly getting a lot more scrutinized than he should be? I definitely do. I mean, this goes back to his days at Texas A&M. I don't know what the deal is with this guy, but it's like he has constantly got the spotlight on him. And
the problem is, though, is he doesn't appreciate the situation he's in, and he doesn't realize how fortunate he is to be playing at such an elite level, and he's throwing it all away. I mean, it is not that hard to not get arrested. It is not that hard to stay out of trouble with the police, yet you are an NFL quarterback, and you constantly find yourself in these ridiculously stupid situations that now, I mean, let's be honest, the Browns have already said that he's replaceable. They don't necessarily need him, and the fact that they have the draft pick that they do, they can get a new quarterback. They don't need him anymore, and now other teams are probably looking at him like, what do we want to do with a guy like this? He's just going to add to the trouble that we're going to have on our team. So I think he's screwing himself over, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean,
other thing that I like about Johnny Manziel, and I don't like to get into this because I try to brace you from this and keep you away from it, but it's always good in sometimes not really good, but just it puts things in perspective with race relations.
What, white boy going crazy,
absolutely.
Dream?
No, I mean, anybody can get in trouble. He's immature, I think is what it comes down to.
Seeing a Caucasian act controversial is always, I on the other side of it sitting kind of
It makes you chuckle a little bit, Dream.
See that? Every time y'all want to do Pac-Man Jones, I do Johnny Manziel.
Johnny Manziel. Well, you know what? Hey, on a more serious note with this kid, though, I mean, he's already been to rehab. Maybe he's struggling with a little alcoholism or something. I mean, you never really know at the end of the day what he's got going on there. And obviously, number one, he probably needs to get rid of the booze. Number two, get rid of this woman, because this isn't the first time he's been in trouble with her, from what I understand. So, I don't know. I mean, he could go out there and, probably go to some kind of Super Bowl parties or something like that, Charlie, and probably, find some pretty attractive women to talk to, kind of maybe drink a water or something like that, or, drink a club soda and lime, you know what I mean?
I mean, here's the thing. If you know you have a problem with something, you stay away from it. And I think that that's what a sensible person would do. And granted, addiction isn't something that's always under your control, but you have to put things into perspective and say, okay, what do I care about more, partying or my career? And if you know that you can't even be around alcohol because it's going to create a problem, or drugs or whatever the case may be, then you just remove yourself from that environment. You focus solely on what's important. And for him, that should be his career.
I think he needs a life coach, Dream.
No doubt. Listen, I think we all pay way too much attention to him. Yeah. I mean,
but it's just like, it's ridiculous. It's just like,
no, I know. I agree with you. I agree with you. But some of it, I think too, like, I think that, like, I want to say maybe 60% of this stuff is probably frivolous. But he gets even extra attention just because it started snowballing, like I said, at Texas A&M, and it has not stopped for him. And I think that he gets, like I said, as soon as he walks into a restaurant, the first thing, everybody pops out their phones and are videoing. And yo, by Johnny, go get him a couple rounds of trades. Let's see if he can get it popping here. You know what I'm saying? It's just, that's just how I feel. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he's got the target on his back now, like you're alluding to. So
I kind of feel like they're picking on Johnny, man.
They might be picking on you, boy,
a little
bit,
I can't agree with you. I don't think anyone's picking on him. I think he's put himself in this situation, and I don't know when he's going to finally realize that enough is enough. But if
I want to fly out to Vegas, though, if I want to fly out to Vegas and have a $50,000 party and act wild, I could do that.
Yeah, but
but
Johnny here's the thing, there are, but think about if you put any other, like, quarterback any other quarterback in that situation. I mean, we'll talk about Cam Newton. I mean, he hasn't been in any real serious trouble, but if he's going to go to Vegas and party it up, he's also going to get people surrounding him and hounding him and taking pictures. But that's what you get as a light, taking on that role as a professional football player. You expect that, but that's for you to use responsibly and act responsibly, and he's not living up to I don't think he's living up to that.
He's not doing it, Dream. He's not doing it. So, hey, I agree with you, Charly. Remove yourself from the situation altogether. I mean, you only have in your life, you only have a small window of opportunity to make yourself a successful NFL player.
Right.
So why are you going to taint it with all of this madness early in your life? It just kind of doesn't make any sense to me, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And, hey, it is what it is, and I think that's enough for Johnny Manziel. So
yeah, let's stop talking about
what do we got going on?
Leave John alone.
Well, guys, there was a lot of good games on yesterday. We want to start with the NBA.
Yeah. What went down yesterday? I saw that the Golden State Warriors laid the smackdown on the New York Knickerbockers.
Well, they should have, after not laying the smackdown on the Philadelphia 76ers and almost losing.
Yeah, that's something they definitely wanted to erase from their memory as soon as they possibly could.
I don't know what happened in that game.
I do.
Guys, the Warriors won 116-95, so it was not a close game.
Absolutely not. And Dream, I was on the wrong side of a couple of different affairs yesterday in the NBA. One inclusive of the Chicago Bulls, who got smoked by the Clippers.
Ooh, yeah.
I told you hit me up with those. You sent me a text, and I told you for neither one of those teams.
You know what? I found something with the Bulls. I found a little weakness yesterday. They are awful at guarding the three-point line. The Clips had wide open threes, man, like the entire game. And you know what? Just when the Bulls would come down and Jimmy Butler would hit a big shot, the Clips would come down and just counter it and answer right away. And that's like the biggest thing. That's like my biggest pet peeve is like when you get the momentum going, when you have a certain team that you're on, and then the other team just comes and answers like a minute later. You're like, oh.
On the flip side of this, it is time to start talking about the Clippers and fixing up whatever was wrong with them, as they seem to have found some answers and they're getting it together and their season is headed in the right direction amidst losing Blake Griffin. So the Clips are on a little bit of a roll and they've been doing their thing. So big ups to them.
Yeah. Go ahead,
you said about the three-point shot. They were 17 of 32 from behind the arc yesterday.
Ooh. Wow, that's like almost 55%.
Yeah, I think it was like 53% or something I saw.
Wow.
And the real differential between the two teams was the bench play. because the starters, beginning of the game, it was pretty neck and neck, but the Clippers bench outscored the Bulls bench 48-18.
Unbelievable. Yeah, but trust me, I was watching it.
Yeah.
I was like cringing every time I saw something go down in that particular game. And, third quarter, I just realized that the game was over. So I went up on the deck and started cooking my kids some steaks for, myself and my kid. I was like, this game is a wrap. Done. And another game in the East, I'm looking at the Atlanta Hawks versus the Miami Heat. What happened there?
Well, Miami came out quick. We saw that. They jumped out to a pretty good lead.
Big Charly?
What?
Yeah.
Well, not big. I mean, they
brutal.
jumped out quick, though. I mean, they outscored the Hawks 9-2 to start the game.
It was
Which
bad.
is important, though. I think getting off to a quick start is important, and I think it sets the tone for what you want to do for the rest of the game. And I think that Miami did show a change of pace, I think, throughout the entire course of yesterday's contest. I mean, they definitely have picked up their speed. That's for sure.
And something, Whiteside's gotten a little bit more healthier. I believe in this run as they start to reemerge now. I'm telling you, and I've told you, and I've been talking about them all season long. Miami Heat, I'm telling you, they're the second best team in the East. I don't care what you say.
I can't see it, man.
At the end of the day, I mean, as long as they stay healthy.
Right.
That's the key factor, because you got Wade, which is questionable, and now you had like this injury to Whiteside. But if they can keep their health throughout the rest of the season, they are definitely going to be a problem at the stretch. I see them being the second best team in the East personally.
So you think, Dream, you're thinking of Eastern Conference Finals between them and the Cleveland Cavs at the end of the day?
I don't, like I said, it depends on where they land. You know what I'm saying? It looks like maybe, but, I don't know if they're going to be the 2 seed.
Right. I mean, the Atlanta Hawks scored 34 points in the first half, man. That is very uncharacteristic from them. And they just could not catch them after that, man. I mean, 17 points. Oh, bad.
Shut down D, like Charly said, they got out quick.
Yeah, definitely got out quick, man. So I don't know. I mean, these two teams, like I said, it's hard to talk about any teams in the East besides obviously the Cavs and or the Bulls. Yeah. But, the Bulls, I mean, just so inconsistent. They did lose 4 games at home in a row and then went on the road to beat the Lake Show, and now they just can't buy a win. So, but we'll see what ends up going down with them tonight as they're going into Utah.
Guys, I feel like at this point in the season, depth is such a big deal.
Right.
And, we're talking about the injury to Hassan Whiteside, but Amari Stoudemire filled in pretty nicely for him yesterday. He had a double-double within the first 21 minutes of the game. So,
you know what? That's an excellent point you bring up.
Yeah,
and I don't know if you remember this. You and I talked about
right.
this.
No, I remember, yeah.
Like a month ago, I said, I don't know why they're not getting Stoudemire involved. And now, finally, they're getting, you know what? That's that great point, Charly. Thank you for bringing that back to our attention again as well. Awesome point.
Yeah, we were dying to find out, why this guy's not in the lineup? I mean, he's been rocking the bench. He's been killing the bench.
I know he's been killing the bench. Looked like you out there. I thought it was you. I looked at the bench a couple times. Sweatsuit crispy. Headed all over to get some water. Freshen it up.
Definitely. So, I mean, anything as far as the NBA is concerned, I think those were the notable games. But, college hoop had some good stuff go down yesterday, Charly.
Yeah, they did. And we saw some pretty big wins. Maryland getting the win over Ohio State was a pretty, of course, Maryland is the ranked team, but that was a big game for them because they had blown out Ohio State.
Right.
Just, 2 weeks ago almost?
Yeah, we watched that game.
Ohio
I watched
State
that
was
game on a
for
Saturday.
Blood
Wasn't happening.
It was
Dream,
not happening.
Dream, Trimble and Suleiman are pretty good, man.
Come on, dude. Oh, fine.
They're pretty good, but I'm still struggling with this team, man.
I told you. I swear it's coaching. And to me, the X factor on that team is Carter. I mean, give Trimble and Suleiman, I'll give them theirs. But to me, the most dangerous person on that team to me is Carter because I love his game. But I point to the coach, and like I said before, tell me Coach Cal. You know what I'm saying? Patino, Izzo, any of the greats, Coach K, if they had that Maryland team, they wouldn't be just running away with it right now.
Sure.
You know, because they got all the talent in the world, every aspect and every element you could possibly need for, to run the gambit.
It all depends on how the seating is set up as far as the brackets are concerned.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because if you could have them playing like Obviously, if they're like a 2 or 3 seed, maybe they'll probably be like a 2 seed. So if you could get them obviously playing the booty 15th seed, and then maybe get them playing like let me just think about this for a minute. Maybe like an Indiana and then beating them. And then going forward, maybe beating like I don't think West Virginia would be in their bracket, but something along those lines. I think I think they could get to the Elite Eight, Dream.
Did you just say West Virginia, son?
West Virginia, Press Virginia, man. Awful, yeah. They're definitely spiraling out of control. But
awful.
Looking at a couple of other games here, I see
They might want to go to half-court track.
I see that. I see your boy Utah got the job done at Iowa, Dream.
My boy. I think they pulled it back to basics and stopped watching the NBA Jam videos.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, they're pretty good at home. And they only won by 14, but they were up huge in that game. I mean, they were up, 16 points at the half and only won by 14. But, Charlie, what else you got on the ticket as far as what happened yesterday in college hoop?
Yeah, well, we saw that the late game yesterday was Oregon-Arizona State.
Yes.
Oregon coming away with the win. Let me get
that Oregon team, man, they've been pretty impressive. They've fought some good wins on the road, dude. They beat Arizona and now beat Arizona State. Those are great wins on the road for them.
And they have a bunch of home games coming up, guys, down the stretch.
And I know they're on the West Coast hat and, Pac-12, but, you might want to add them in your little long shot thing that you do on Thursday when you do your update.
I already planned on it.
Tell people to take a look at them.
I already planned on it, brother.
Thanks, brother.
You know. What else you got, Charlie?
If we want to, let's see, what else did we have going on yesterday?
Charlie, the Villanova beat St. John's. Not to cut you off, sorry.
No,
but,
go for it.
I talk about the Vill a little bit here, as I expect. I want to get excited about this team, but it's still a little rocky road with them. I want my man Jay Wright to. I'd love to see Jay Wright win a national title, man. I really would. I think he's a really class act coach in college basketball. I like his program. It's always clean. He is one of the sharpest dressers in the land. I don't know if you check Jay Wright out, but Jay Wright's ensemble is always popping. So I'd like to see him get a win. But this team, last year, they broke our hearts while we were in sunny Las Vegas at Diablo's. This team had to be a hat, one of the most
That was the one, man. That was the only one we needed to complete, like, an amazing day.
An amazing day. And we were at Diablo's just kick back, drinking, doing our thing, having a good time, and they were just off to losing.
NC State beat them, man. Remember that?
Oh, that broke our heart. That broke our heart.
Yeah, definitely. So, hey, college basketball is going to be real fun, guys. I do my future segment on Thursday, so I'm looking forward to that. And, it might be a couple of more teams to discuss, Dream, as you do got me paying attention to the pack. And the pack is going to have probably the most amount of teams in the tournament.
See that?
At the end of the day. So, I mean, you're probably looking at a good 8 teams that'll probably be in there. And I see Michigan State went ham on the Rutgers as well, Dream.
Definitely.
They did, and that sets them up nicely because now they're going to head into that big rivalry game with Michigan this weekend with a little bit of momentum on their side as well. So.
Oh, wow. Where is that game? Is it in Michigan or is it Michigan State?
That's a great question. I'm not exactly sure. I'll have to check on that, but they have 5 days to prepare for. So that's good news because they definitely want their legs under them for that game. What's that?
When do they play? Saturday?
They play on Saturday.
I believe it's on Saturday, Dream. So
and that's going to be in Michigan.
It's going to be in Michigan.
Yep.
All right.
Which is a tough place to play, by the way.
I know, but that Michigan team, man. Oh, my God, dude. It's like they just want to play when you bet against them.
Of course. That's how they all do it, man.
The coach is on the phone with Vegas. And he says, okay, Dream just put it in. All right, good. All right, guys. Bring back the Fab Five, guys, and you guys get out of here.
Seems that way, man.
Oh man, they kill me. I watched this team. I don't know. They're a very inconsistent team, and their gameplay on a night in and night out basis is very sporadic. So I expect Sparty to go in there and get the job done.
Think so?
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, they played really well yesterday, tying a school record with 17 3-pointers. So.
Unbelievable.
They had some really nice ball movement, too, as well. They had 28 assists on 33 field goals.
Very interesting, man. Dream, hey, Izzo's getting ready for that tourney.
Yeah.
He's getting ready to shock the world, man.
The team doesn't do it for me, though.
It doesn't do it for you, huh?
No, but yeah, it's kind of like how you feel about Maryland, I guess. We're right here.
Yeah, I get it.
Feeling the same way about each. Probably neither one of them are going to go, though, in the grand scheme of the whole thing. But
it all depends on
they
how
just
it's
don't seem to do it for me. I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's going to be for an interesting March Madness because there is no decisive, clear favorite this year, guys. We've been saying it, and that's a great time to make some money when you look at it. Because you could have a this year you can have a 10 or 11 seed that makes it real far, and just like kind of VCU did, like back in, I want to say that was 5 years ago, 2011. VCU did it, so we'll see where it ends up landing, guys. So as far as that's concerned, that does it for the NCAA recap, and I'm looking forward to tonight's games because we got a bunch of stuff going on. But what else we got, Charlie? What the Pro Bowl?
We saw the Pro Bowl yesterday. Not the most exciting of games, but I think that's what we expected. A lot of really strong talent out there, but, as far as it being a, super exciting and compelling game, I mean, there was barely any contact. There was one sack the entire game, and that was by Michael Bennett, Seattle Seahawk, and he was the defensive MVP. He recorded the game's only sack, and he deflected a pass.
Let me tell you something. My kid is a diehard football fan. So he wanted to basically sit there and watch the whole game with me.
Yeah.
That was brutal to watch. I got to be honest with you. I saw, like, when AP is running at, like, the linebackers, they just wrapped them, and they blew the whistle.
Oh, yeah, absolutely right. I mean, it was – and I think that's what they expect. These guys have such big contracts. They don't want to get hurt out here for a game that really means nothing. It's more just to – appease the fans and create a little bit of excitement ahead of Super Bowl since there is that break. But Russell Wilson, he was the offensive MVP. He had 3 first-half touchdown passes to lead his team. And Team Irvin ended up winning over Team Rice 49-27.
Well,
while you're complaining about your kid wanting to watch the game, okay, please understand that Saturday night at 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock on Saturday night.
Yes.
Me and Little Man were at Kung Fu Panda 3.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so before you start complaining about, a kid wants to maybe watch football, the whole thing, I was at Kung Fu Panda 3, and I had gone ham on LeBron.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I had to take him to Kung Fu Panda 3. I'm sitting in this piece. I got my coat over my phone trying to dip set and take a quick look at the scores. He's elbowing me for some popcorn and wanting to drink, then spilled the drink on the floor. Oh, man, it was crazy. But, yeah, that's what I had to put down. As they've been neglected for most of football season. Not neglected, but, football usually generally comes first. And, the last few weekends, we've been, kind of hammering it out.
Sure.
I said, all right, let's go see Kung Fu Panda 3. So I took him to
Well, good for you, man. I commend you on that.
Yeah.
But
it's funny because you see the sideline reporters trying to get really involved. They even brought the guys who normally do all the commentating from the booth. They brought them down to the field. It's like they're trying to create any excitement they possibly can, and they're asking like these questions that typically you wouldn't hear from sideline reporters, like, what's your favorite thing about being here? I mean, just like trying to create these conversations and almost put the attention on the players rather than the game itself. So it was
yeah. And I did notice a mistake yesterday. Right before the game, Mike Tirico went on. He was talking to Gruden, and he talked about this being Peyton's last game. He said it. Like right on TV. So, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to get ready to put a caller in right now. So just give me 1 second, and we will make this happen. Good morning. Do we have Bill Moss on the line today?
Good morning, guys.
How are you doing, brother?
What's going on, man?
Just getting ready. Get ready for Super Bowl. You ready?
Oh boy, am I ever ready, Bill?
Bill, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. You guys, seriously, are you ready? Are you ready for this game? I mean, I don't. There just doesn't seem to be much, much around this game.
No, Bill. You know what? What I need? I need them to talk about it just a little bit more. I need about at least 50 more opinions.
Well, guys, you're hearing Bill Moss. This is a former longtime defensive tackle for Kansas City. Also, two-time Pro Bowler, and we know that he's going to have a lot to say as it concerns the upcoming game this Sunday. So, Bill, let's not waste any time. You're already getting right into it. What are your initial thoughts heading into this Super Bowl number 50?
My initial thoughts, it's all about defense. Of course, the quarterbacks, Peyton Manning and Cam Newton, are going to draw all the storylines and all the controversies as well. But this game to me is just all about defense. Quietly, both defenses must feel a little bit underappreciated. Carolina has done a world with their defense in getting the Panthers to where they are currently, as well as Denver Broncos. If it wasn't for these two defenses, these teams wouldn't be where they are right now. And, how long can that last? I've watched the push that Carolina has made through this postseason, and you have to wonder, are you just banking everything on your defense? Without them, they wouldn't be there.
Now, you mentioned two very talented teams, both of which are very strong defensively, also powerful offensively, as we've seen. Who do you see as having the edge on Sunday?
Well, that's a great question. The things that Cam Newton can do are rare to find. You have quarterbacks that run around, but you don't have quarterbacks of his size that run around. And that's going to be tough. But going back to when Denver played Carolina last, they had Von Miller spy Cam Newton, and he did a great job of not allowing him to get many yards at all. So I anticipate some form of that. And then the receivers, who's going to step up for their guys? Demaryius Thomas has been a real Achilles heel, to be honest with you. As you look through the season, he's got more drop balls than anybody in the league.
Right.
He can't afford to do that in this game.
Very good point.
Guys, you're listening to Bill Moss, former defensive tackle for Kansas City, also a former Pro Bowler. A lot of the storyline here, Bill, is on the two quarterbacks, Peyton Manning, Cam Newton, and the fact that they are at two totally different places in their career. They have a little more than 13 years as far as their ages go.
Yeah.
Is this something that people should be making a big deal about? Is this something that is actually going to matter when it comes down to it?
Yeah, I think so, especially for Peyton. His health and where he's at, his age, all those things, and having the opportunity to do what very, very few people can do, and go out on top. John Elway, of course, his general manager now, had the opportunity to do that in Denver, go out as a Super Bowl champion and retire. It certainly would be a fitting ending to Peyton's career. And at the same time, if he doesn't and he loses, it could be a real, kind of black eye on his career, being able to get there and not win again, and all the AFC championship losses and all those things. I think there's a lot of pressure on the quarterback position of this game.
Do you think, because I know that it hasn't been made official whether or not Peyton Manning will retire after the season, do you think this should be, as he calls it, his last rodeo?
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to tell guys, when to go. It's hard for all players to know when it's time to go. Because it's something you've done, and if you've had a long career, you've done it for such a long time. That's all you really know to do. And with Peyton, you've seen the decline, just due to the injuries in the arm and the neck and all those things. It's time, and I think for Peyton, he knows that. He doesn't want to acknowledge it because he doesn't want the focal point to be about, him retiring. He wants it to be about his team and the game.
Now, I'll just switch gears for a minute. Yesterday was the Pro Bowl, and you actually had a tweet yesterday that said, "Watching the NFL Pro Bowl, I must be really old, not the game I played in." Can you elaborate a little more on that?
Yeah, I mean, that used to be the Pro Bowl used to be a big thing of honor. It only used to be voted on by coaches and players. There was no fan voting. So when you got voted to that, it was a badge of honor. It was It's something you really took a lot of pride in, playing against the best players in the league and performing at a high level. You didn't turn down the Pro Bowl. This year there was a record amount of players that declined to even go play in the game. And then to watch the game, it was like it wasn't football. It was more along the lines of touch football.
Yeah.
And it was just the format, the way they do it, and how they play it. It's not even a show. It's just kind of, I'm not sure what it was.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I saw like the crazy number about the Pro Bowl. It's at a record 47 players declined to participate in this year's Pro Bowl.
Yeah, that's a head scratcher, but I get it. When it's a business really, and when you're making those kind of dollar figures that are out there now for these guys, I mean, one more game is a chance of one more injury, and so I understand that. But I think that the league needs to take a closer look about that game and maybe do some kind of all-star challenge or something, a tug of war or something else other than that.
Yeah, I was going to say, at this rate, is there a point in even having a game if there's not really an appeal to it for a lot of the players? Except I think a lot of the guys, yesterday it was their first Pro Bowl, so that was the excitement for them. But for these guys who have been, before, it loses its appeal.
Yeah, I would imagine. It must be really rough to go over to Hawaii and sit there in the sand and then enjoy the nice weather.
Exactly. Dream, did you have something on your brain?
Yeah, I do. Bill, I'm going to take you back to the Super Bowl.
Let's go back.
I want to do like a little teeny bit of X and O's, which is just a small bit, because when I watch this matchup and I look at this game, I am somewhat concerned, as I'm sure most of the public is, anybody who has any type of little football sense. I equivalate Carolina's defense and a little bit to Mike Tyson, coming out in the early rounds and really coming out trying to hammer you. It is my thought that Denver definitely needs to come up. Obviously the game plan needs to be something different than what they put forth. In past games. I'd like to hear your thoughts on, what you think maybe they should do. Maybe because I personally think, I thought the no huddle at the beginning of the game might be a little helpful for Denver.
Well, a big thing that no one's talking about is really the health of Davis, their linebacker. I mean, he's a key player. Everyone talks about Luke Kuechly. Hey, Davis is a key factor in their defense, and his injury, where is he at? How healthy is he going to be? And is he going to be able to play? And if not, who's going to fill that position? Because if you catch them out in the field and you're in spread and you go hurry up, like you said, somebody's got to match up with Denver's receivers and backs. Do they have enough depth at the linebacker position? Do they have enough depth at the safety and corner position to withstand that barrage that they're going to get from Denver? Because that's all Denver has, and they're going to live and die by that. But does Carolina have enough depth at those positions to hang? That'll be a great matchup.
Definitely. Okay. So at the end of the day, who do you think emerges and puts a Super Bowl ring on their finger this year, Bill?
I think that Carolina has the better team, but I've seen better teams lose a lot more this year than any year in the past. It's really been a weird year if you go through the whole entire season and look at each team. I mean, they're so close. All the teams in the NFL are so close to being that could be playing into this Sunday's game. So that being said, it's a great position for the NFL. It's a great position for the career of Peyton Manning to have him go out on top as well. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it sure does sound enticing to watch Peyton Manning, the guy who's been the face of the league, go out on top.
All right.
Yeah. For me, this is one of those games where, normally I have a favorite and somebody that I want to win. And granted, I've watched Peyton Manning for a chunk of my life because he played in Indianapolis as I was growing up. But I really, and I would love to see him go out on top, but I really like Cam Newton too. So for me, I just want to see a really good game, and as always, may the best team win.
Yeah, it'll be a fun Super Bowl. With these two defenses, the way they're going to be attacking it, I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be an exciting game.
Wow, great stuff. Well, Bill, Charly, you have anything else for Bill?
No, I'm good. Thank you so much, Bill. You, as always, are a pleasure to talk to and offer some really insightful information.
Definitely.
Are you guys going to San Fran?
I am going to San Francisco, actually.
I am not.
Are you working or playing?
I am doing a little bit of both.
There you go.
What are you going to be out there?
I'm not going out. Enjoy it.
Okay. I will. Oh, I will. I'll have a little bit of extra fun for you. How about that?
Sounds good. Take care, guys.
All
Thanks.
right,
All right,
Bill,
Bill,
take
thank you
care.
so much.
Take it easy, buddy.
Thanks
Thanks
for joining us. We
Bye.
appreciate it.
Sure.
We appreciate it. All right, guys. Hey, Charly, thank you very much for getting him back on. Always
course.
love hearing what he's got to say and going from there. So great job on that.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's a good guy. Lots of knowledge, obviously, as it pertains to the game and everything that surrounds it.
Everything that surrounds it, exactly. So without further ado, guys, I think we got to talk about tonight's stuff, man, because you know what? It's time. We got to make some money here. And let's kick it right off with, let me pull this up here. Why don't we do the NBA, Charly?
Okay, let's do the
Kick
NBA.
it right
Yeah,
off for
we'll
us,
start
man.
with
Let's see what we got.
the top team in the Eastern Conference, the Cavaliers. They're right here in town as we speak, playing the Indiana Pacers tonight. Cleveland is favored -5.
Okay.
They're looking really healthy right now. They don't have any injuries. And the only injury that Indiana could possibly see, some guy that could be out, is center Jan Mahinmi. But as we saw the other night, Miles Turner, he's a starter now, so that's not probably going to affect them. So, if the Cavaliers are coming with the same firepower that they have been, this could be an interesting game.
Cavaliers are 6-1 in their last 7 games, but they are 5-17 in the last 22 games when playing the Indiana Pacers, man. Wow. Seems like Indiana's had their number as of late, man. Are you looking at this game, Dream? Do you have an opinion here?
No, I don't. I don't really like the spot for either one of the teams. I could probably make an argument why both teams could lose this game. The Cavs being that just came off this big win against the Spurs that I know that they were up for.
Yes.
That we got down with there. And then, Indiana just, getting overpowered by the Cavs as well. So I don't like this game. I don't see, I don't really see any direction that I like more than the other. So not one of the ones I'm on.
This is the first matchup this year between the two teams, and I'm looking at it here, and Indiana is 15-5 straight up in the last 20 games at home, guys. This is it's almost like Cleveland has the target on their back as far as the Eastern Conference is concerned. So, every single East team that plays Cleveland is going to come to play. And they're pretty good at home as well. So I'm looking at this and, with Cleveland given 5.5, I still got to see a lot of this new offense that Tyronn Lue is trying to establish with Cleveland. So I think in this particular matchup, I got to stay back from this and just kind of watch it materialize and see what goes down.
Okay.
Personally. So what else you got, Charly? What's on the plate tonight?
All right, well, the Mavericks are in Atlanta facing the Hawks. Atlanta favored -6.5 points. As far as injuries go, Dirk Nowitzki did sit this weekend. He was just getting some rest, so maybe he'll be back tonight. We don't know that. Devin Harris, though, is doubtful for tonight with a toe injury.
Dream, this Atlanta Hawks team has been kicking my ass lately, man. I just can't find it. I can't find a groove with them. I did so well earlier in the year, and now they're just kind of up and down a little bit. 1-5 against the spread in the last 6 games, man. But they are 7-2 straight up in the last 9 at home. You got the Mavs coming in, Mavs traveling there. Atlanta just played last night as well in Miami. Obviously not traveling nearly as far as the Dallas Mavs. It's not like it's a really long travel date for either one of them, but I'm looking at this, and I just think that Atlanta finds a way to win. We got to see if Dirk is in the lineup, though, tonight. What's your thoughts on this, Dream?
You know, the Hawks need to shake off that ass whooping they just got last night.
Very good point, man. And I felt it with him.
The coach should be demanding them to respond to that. You know, I kind of like the Hawks in this spot.
Yeah.
I kind of like them to bounce back, shake that loss off, especially if Dirk's not playing. You know, the Mavericks traveling, you know, out to play them. I kind of like the Hawks in this spot. I don't love it, but slightly lean Hawks.
Dallas has been really bad on the road, too. 2-4 in the last 6 games on the road, brother. So,
Right.
you know, when you look at this here, I mean, Atlanta's definitely the superior team in most statistical categories here. I think Atlanta gets the job done. I'd like to put them in a money line parlay with something else. So I'm going to continue to look through the card and see what else I have. Charlie, what else do we got on the ticket?
Well, the Wizards are visiting the Thunder tonight. The Thunder favored minus 9.5 points. Guys, this is a big game because we're seeing two of the best guards in the game facing off. But Oklahoma, I think, a little more of an edge to them. They're looking for their 7th straight home win and their 7th straight win against the Wizards.
Wow.
The only injury that is notable, Cameron Payne, is questionable. He had a concussion a few days ago, so he's day-to-day right now, and it's not known whether or not he'll be playing tonight.
All right, I'm looking at this, and Dream, we always talk about this, man. When the Washington Wizards are an underdog, not only do they cover the spreads, but they come out and win the games.
All right,
AKA,
so go ahead and get the Wiz.
No, I'm not doing it versus Billy Donovan's
I had
squad.
enough of the Wizards, by the way. Good looking.
Oh, when they didn't beat the Nuggles?
Like, when they didn't beat the Nuggles, yeah. I'm good with them now.
Oh, look at this. I mean, at the Bulls, a 8.5-point underdog and won the game outright. At the Indiana Pacers, a 7-point underdog, won the game outright. I'm looking at this, let me see, at the Cleveland Cavaliers, 7.5-point underdog and won the game outright. It's kind of tough, man. It just seems like they pick these spots to just be a pain in the neck as far as, you know, maybe they look at it as an underdog and just want to excel during those particular games. But OKC tonight, I think OKC can get the job done. I just don't like this spot for them. I think I'm going to fall back from it. I think that the Washington Wizards may smell blood here. Could be a tight game going down the stretch, guys. So if you get involved in it, I wish you the best of luck. We got no injuries to report. So, hey, going to see the two tandem of Westbrook and Durant, Dream, with a little bit of outside shooting from Ibaka tonight, man. So we'll see what goes on with that. What else you got, Charlie?
All right, guys, the final game on the docket that we're going to go over. Orlando is in San Antonio.
Oh.
San Antonio favored by 16 points. Tim Duncan is out for tonight.
Do we have any status on what's going on with him? You know, I think, what is it, the knee? Is it a knee or an ankle?
Injury, yeah.
It's a knee injury, and he's been out for, this is going to be a 4th game straight that he's missed.
Yeah, and I think they're using this time. I mean, they've, you know, especially, you know, when they have a game such as tonight against a team like the Magic, it's not necessary that he's out there. Of course, they probably could have used him the other night against the Cavs.
Yes, big time.
But that's Popovich. You know, if any coach doesn't care, you know, it's Pop.
Very good point, man. Very good point. So we'll see what goes down. Obviously, they'll probably have one of those typical 20-point wins tonight, Dream. You know how they love to do, and the Orlando Magic are absolutely brutal. So I think for the most part, I think you're safe laying the points here, Dream.
Okay.
All right. So what else you got? So that does it for the NBA. Unless, Dream, do you see anything that Charlie did not mention?
No.
You don't? Okay. All right, Charlie, what do you got for NCAA basketball tonight?
All right, well, there is a big game. Two top 25 teams, North Carolina in Louisville. Louisville favored by 1.5 points tonight.
Wow. Dream, Louisville is favored versus North Carolina tonight, man. That is a very interesting line. Obviously, you got an ACC matchup here, and, you know, Louisville coming off the beatdown to Virginia. North Carolina's pretty well rested. Just had a tune-up game on Saturday and traveled into Louisville. Louisville caught their first loss of the year versus at home versus Virginia. Something's telling me that Louisville gets this game, Dream. I don't know why yet. I got to look at some stats. I got to look at some stuff that's going on. But, them being so dominant at home and losing back-to-back games, I think this one's going to be tight and a headache. But I think for some reason, Pitino finds a way to win, Dream.
Yeah, I don't really have an opinion on it. I don't really like, obviously, I don't like North Carolina. I talked about their coach before. I don't understand what happened to Louisville over the weekend. Of course, he'll be up for it, but I will say that I do think that you got a situation that you have a much bigger North Carolina team playing a smaller Louisville team, and I think that that's going to be problematic for Louisville. Not saying that they can't overcome it, but I don't think Louisville's going to win this game.
You don't, huh?
No, but I'm not getting involved with it financially.
And when you look at the lines, it's like all across the board. It's kind of moving around. Dr. Dan's telling me that North Carolina's favored now. But then I'm looking at my board, and I'm seeing a pick 'em. And I'm seeing, so the line is kind of adjusting all over the place. So, hey, we'll see what ends up going down closer to game time. I might have to wait on this one, Dream. Because if the line is going north in North Carolina's favor, I might have to take Louisville as a home team underdog on prime time, brother. How about that one? What else you got, Charly?
Well, Texas visiting Baylor. Baylor favored by 5 points, and there are no injuries that need to be reported for this one.
Dream, talk to me about Texas, man.
Texas
Shaka Smart.
Texas is good. Not on this one, though. Not on this one.
Dream, do you have anything for the audience today?
I got not. Listen.
Come on. Well, I'm gonna come drive out to the woods and kind of wake you up, man. Shake you around.
Because I don't want the audience. I don't want the audience messing up their bankroll headed into the biggest game of the year. It's called balance. Don't just bet to have something to do.
Nah, that ain't. I'm trying to make some money, man.
By the way, trying to make some money, you could also don't forget there's a possibility that you can lose some.
I'm on the home team underdog philosophy, man.
All right.
So, and Dr. Dan is killing me here trying to get me to go with UNC. But, dude, I don't know, man. I think it's going to be me versus you tonight, Dizzle. That is what it is. But looking at this, Texas being an underdog versus Baylor. Baylor's very good at home with the exception of the beatdown from Oklahoma. But Texas, I've noticed, gets out early on you. I mean, they take big leads right into the first 10 minutes of the game. So, I mean, and they did play in a hostile environment at Texas and lost, but I think Texas, for the most part, I think that they can play this game tight. I kind of like them plus the point stream, but I don't know if I'm going to necessarily get involved in it. Gotcha. All right, sounds good. So as far as marquee matchups, as far as the NCAA basketball is concerned, I don't really have anything else. Unless you have anything else to add, Dream. I know hockey's tomorrow night. I can't wait to get back into hockey, man. So
we didn't mention the All-Star game at All for Hockey.
The 3-on-3. There's a lot of buzz going on, man. It was actually the number one topic on Twitter, man. Trending was the NHL All-Star game. So I did not get a chance to look at any of it. I was kind of switching back and forth between the Pro Bowl, obviously, and Oregon playing. But, I guess they switched it up quite a bit, and a lot of people are excited about the way they did it.
We can get into that tomorrow. We can talk a little bit about it as we got Shane Redinius coming on tomorrow to hit us up with his thoughts on the Super Bowl as well. So, guys, like I said, there's a week fully packed with a lot of guests, some old, some new, and then we're going to have a couple little surprises for you. So, guys, please listen in. Keep coming back and check us out because we got a nice week planned, and hopefully we can get you even more confused about the Super Bowl pick.
Now, guys, who was Bill on, by the way? He said Carolina's the better team, but the better teams have been losing this year.
I think
Bill
he's leaning towards Carolina, but
enigma.
You know what? The second you say you think a team's gonna win, that's when something crazy happens. So.
Absolutely. So
it will be a good game, though. I really do. I think this is going to be a good Super Bowl matchup. I'm really excited.
Bill said defense wins the games. Then he said, the best team doesn't always win.
Yep.
Then he said that he thinks the game will be tight. So if you take all three of those pieces to the puzzle, it equals Denver plus the points.
Got it. Denver plus the points and an under. That's what he's looking at probably. So
I didn't hear him say it was going to be low scoring.
Got it. All right, guys. So that's pretty much going to do it for the show. Charly, you're on your way out to sunny California.
I'm on my way. I'm back to the West Coast.
Must be nice.
Oh, that's great. Well, good for you. Have a safe flight.
Absolutely.
And will you be joining us on Wednesday as well as Friday, or just Friday? Do you know yet?
I think I should be good to go. Hopefully for both days. I will keep you posted, but I'm gonna do my best to be there both days.
All right, sounds good. And like the Dream said, we got an action-packed week. We got a lot of guests coming on, and very excited about getting my boy Sugar Shane on tomorrow. Dream.
Definitely can't wait to talk to him, guys. We're going to get ready to get out of here. I want to thank everybody, as we always do. It's customary for us to thank everyone that's retweeted the show and listened in today. We got A.B. Lent, Irvin, Terrence, Matt, James M. Thompson, Sports Attacks, Sirach, King J, Snoopy Betts, Christos, Eric from Wisconsin. We got Jason Riley out there, Joseph Del Rosario, Mr. Charly from Direct Sports Solution. Good morning to you, sir. G. Rose, Jay Snyder, Vegas Jack, MC Money, SD Grind, Big Boy, C. Rodriguez Jr., Jim Rome, Mr. Douche, the King of Spades, JDH24, J. Cass, Benjamin Rowe, Jeff Ryan, Booze and Bets, OJFB is in the house, P for Press, Vegas Girl 92661, Mario Martinez, JC, Nick Orestes, and so many more. Guys, the countdown has begun.
Yes.
Big shout outs to Bill Moss for coming on today and kicking it with us and giving us that incredible interview he did. Big shout outs to Charly as she's getting ready to go to sunny California and leave us all cold.
I'm never leaving you. Come on. I will continually be with you in spirit.
Leave us all cold while she rubs elbows with the professional athletes of the world and has a good time and just parties it up. Oh, I am so jealous. Maybe you might bump into Johnny. Tell him to calm it down.
Woo, guys, if I run into Johnny, he's going to get a mouthful from me, I'm telling you. He has it coming if he runs into me.
Yes.
As always, I'm the Dream. Always remember who you with. Make the most of each and every day, as you cannot get this time back.
All right, sounds good, guys. We love you to death. Go out there. Go easy. A lot of stuff going on. We got the big game on Sunday, so don't be blowing up your whole bankroll this week. So on some of this stuff where you need to watch some of these close games, you might want to sit back and just kind of watch. But whatever you do, it's Monday. Rise and grind, baby. Make all your dreams a damn reality and get that money. Let's go.